Howdy, folks. Howdy, folks. I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker TV. And tonight we are on the round table with all of our good friends. We've got Tank and Dirty and a guest, new TikTok sensation, D-Lo, Danny D-Lo. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
What up?
TikToky.
Welcome.
I'm trying to be a YouTube sensation.
You got to show more skin.
Or baby Gap shirts like me.
No, you're just a weirdo.
You love it.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish I could be like you. Not really.
Not really. You can't.
I can't wear shirts that small, man. They fit.
Only your dick can.
Yeah. Now my unit's famous.
Righty. So we already have issues over here. I was trying to go live simulcast on my there it is. It's working. Aha! All right, and now we are live. Do you really want to stop broadcasting? No. Okay, so finally. We're live on all our platforms, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, and here we are, and everybody, we got Hollywood from Insane Throttle. Hollywood, how you doing, man?
What's up, buddy?
And we got Wild on Twos from Wild on Twos YouTube channel. Wild on Twos is responding to a insult we got. We were called the Zoom crew by somebody, and we don't use Zoom. We use StreamYard. We're the StreamYard crew.
Get it right.
StreamYard, bitch. We have Tank and Dirty from Bikers Life Podcast. What's up, men?
What's going on, man?
Oh, and we've got the dark one in the corner there. Shaggy 1%er. What's up, Shaggy?
Oh, it's going to be a great show, and it's going to be a very bad show for the but we'll just get to it.
All right. So little background here. So for so many years, and as long as I've been doing this, it's so difficult to get motorcycle clubs to do anything. I mean, anything at all with media. And that includes me. And there's a good reason why that is. Because media has managed to screw over. News and media has managed to screw over. They do what makes money, what sells, and what sells for whatever reason is this sensationalism about how bad motorcycle clubs are, this kind of thing. And so we, I have a thing where I say we need to deal with them, but Hollywood has had an experience that has been so negative, it caused him to have to put out an apology kind of video. And some of the others of you have seen this thing. He got in touch with, he got in bed kind of with National Geographic. So you would think that's an A1 kind of organization. And I'll tell us a little more about it, but he used his contacts and people that he knows to bring some major clubs into this this thing that he was invited in, and there were certain assurances made, and none of that stuff was kept. And what the media did with what Hollywood, the difference between what he thought he was going to get and what has happened, lets us know that these folks are not trustworthy.
It's not that. They don't have any fucking respect for us. They don't have any respect for the fact that we fought for our country. We are free Americans. We choose to live our life the way we want to. And they have the audacity to say the shit about us that they said. This fight has just begun. I was on the phone with Double D. This is going all the goddamn way.
All right. We're going to get to you in just a second. I got a call from this one first thing. What was it? 1 o'clock in the morning or something when he called me?
I don't know, man. I was pretty hot. I
got him right after that. So him and I smoked for like a good time.
Yeah, this morning.
Then I called over to the UK, and I was Shaggy's already called me. So oh my goodness. So I've always been well, let's just cut to the point. Hollywood, bring us in the narrative, break us in, let us know what has happened. I know you've done a video about it, but for my viewers and the viewers of the roundtable, kind of bring everybody up to speed, and let's kind of move from there.
Oh, there's another one coming out tomorrow. Anyway, we were contacted by National Geographic. They got our information from somebody else. I'm not talking about which clubs or any of that stuff. And we got in the conversation about bikers, motorcycle clubs, biker rights, NCOM, and all that type of stuff. And the first 3 months, because this wasn't an overnight deal, man. This was a long conversation. And my biggest bitch during the whole thing was how the cops were, how they fed everybody false narratives about cops. And they said, well, you know what? We're really interested in telling that story. And I said, okay, I'll pass you on to somebody and you guys can talk. And that was off the impression that it was going to be about biker rights and NCOM and the good that clubs do put their side of the story out. And we were all under the impression it was going to be an episode of just one club. And it turned out to be totally different than what we were told. I know the club had negotiations with them. In that show, you can actually hear her say there was questions agreed upon beforehand. And she took it in a whole different freaking direction than we were even. She cut up an hour conversation of mine and put it in 3 sentences. So it was a pretty bad. They made Gangland look like freaking heroes right now.
Well, first off, they made you look like clubs bend to your will. And basically, they're like, hey, why are they letting us in? And it's just because I asked them to. Well, you told me earlier when I talked to you how that transpired. That was actually off the a question they asked about
NCOM.
Income.
Because
this was a hit piece.
Me and the other guy was talking about because NCOM was going to be public, and I asked them if they could come if they were going to show the good about clubs, because they were talking about why is clubs killing this and that. I was like, go to NCOM, you'll see everybody working together. And that's where she took that from.
She better not show up to Income.
Depends if she
So Hollywood, what did you expect? What was your expectation?
Expectation was covering. We didn't know 2 other clubs were involved in this thing. We thought it was going to be a standalone. It was going to be a doc about bikers, our side of the story. And that's the way they strung us around for 3 or 4 months. That we were going to be able to get our side of the story out. Didn't happen that way. Profiling was talked about, and I see she even put Waco in there because we went in depth about Waco, how bad it got in Texas afterwards.
Look, she never discussed profiling. She never discussed Waco. They just showed the fighting and the shooting of Waco. I watched that twice. NCOM, NCOC never mentioned. It was all about how we were a bunch of gang members, we're a bunch of criminals, we're a bunch of drug runners, we're a bunch of drug dealers. We extortion, murder, the whole 9 yards. And they interviewed 3 clubs, and they tried to they interviewed 2 clubs and then a bunch of fucking cops afterwards. They never really interviewed the Mongols. They interviewed a guy wearing Mongols colors, wearing his rings, the tattoos, the whole 9 yards, and then they introduced him as a law enforcement officer who has infiltrated 3 other 1% clubs, being the Warlocks, the Vagos, and the Mongols. And he was still a full patch member, which means this was recorded last year because they fucked up and put some dates on there, right? With their deal on Hulu. And it says when it was recorded and all that stuff like that. So this is a year old. This dude, they must have pulled out already because they showed his face. He was proud, loud and proud. He was just so boasting about how he screwed the club. You know, he was doing what he was doing, and you know, it was a definite one-side, almost government-run narrative to deface everything one percenters stand for. One of the comments that really pissed me off that makes absolutely no sense is she pulled one of the cartel guys over, asked him why they deal with 1% clubs, and he kind of acted a little scared. He said, "Man, 1% clubs are really ruthless." Let me explain something. 1% clubs actually have a line they won't cross, no matter how bad, whatever, how far they're pushed. Just from facts of what I've read and researched, and it's on the news constantly when I lived in Arizona, New Mexico, the cartels, there ain't a line they won't cross by any means necessary. And that's a proven fact. The drugs are still coming across the border. The sex trafficking is still happening. People are still being brought in here illegally. It's all being run by the cartels, right? The cartels are very well organized. They know what the fuck they're doing. They are not dumb by no means. The criminal activity that was talked about the cartels ain't gonna talk about that shit. I don't give a fuck how much stuff they got on their faces, right? The other thing too is the 1%er they supposedly interviewed, where they changed his voice, blacked out his bike, all stuff like that. He made a comment that really shocked me if he was a real true 1%er, which was, she asked him, "Why are you doing this interview?" And he said, "Well, I just don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
But he started out with saying, "I do this because I like to make money." Well, I've met brothers with bad attitudes and think that they're sometimes above everybody else type of thing, but they would never say that in regards to their club on camera, no matter how covered up they are, because just like me and a few brothers were talking about recognizing our brothers and knowing our brothers, I could tell who my brother is from looking behind him. If he's got his face covered up and he's pulling into a cold event, where we're all bundled up, I know who that brother is. So you could cover your face all you want to. They know who the fuck you were. I think he was an actor or a fed. There's no way he was a 1%er. The cartel guys running away, actor or fed, there's no way they were cartel. These organizations ain't that goddamn stupid. One. And two, I have never seen such misrepresentation when it comes to the illegal activity they were trying to accuse us of.
Well, I mean,
I'll take a deep breath and let you all respond.
If you notice, Shaggy, I mean, one of the things she was like right towards the end was, I finally got, to what I was looking for.
Yes, I finally got the connection between the cartels and the 1%ers. Bullshit.
Yeah. Suddenly, I found the one small little thing here, and now that everybody's complicit. What the fuck, man?
So I'm going to say this. I want to start this off positively because there was two positive things that happened. One,
what was that?
The international president of the Vagos, Bigfoot, represented the Mongols very well. His responses to her questions were very well the Vagos, represented the 1%er side to his answers very well. I really liked his analogy about some of the laws in the United States are pretty stupid. Some guy disrespects you, it's not against the law, but hey, we think that's a stupid law because we can't punch him in the mouth. Well, we're going to punch him in the mouth anyway, and we're willing to deal with the consequences because we know this is what we signed up for. Absolutely 100% 1%. That's the mentality. You're not going to disrespect me and just get away with it. There's going to be consequences, right? Loved how he did that. The other thing too is when she starts asking him about murder, and he says, "Yeah, well, you guys have been known to kill all these people," and he goes, "Well, sometimes a couple guys will go at it, or a couple of clubs will go at it, and somebody dies. It happens in his lifestyle. We're not choir boys type of mentality, right?" And he's right. And then when she starts pressing him about the dope again, and he's like, "Look, I don't know everything my brothers do. I don't know what jobs they do. I know my brothers, but I don't know every aspect of their life. And they're my brothers. I don't judge them. They do what they do. But for an organization that's so disorganized, you're trying to tell me that we're an organized drug ring? It's preposterous. It's impossible. It never happened." And he said, even if it was true, I wouldn't admit that shit on camera, but it's still it's not true. It's preposterous. Vogels represented himself well. Well, when they went to Sturgis, and that whole thing where they call Hollywood up and, hey man, can you hook us up with somebody up here? We've been trying to go around and yada yada yada. They cut back to her being in with the senior law enforcement official up there in Sturgis, and she's telling this cop, "Hey, I'm trying to get in with these guys, trying to learn about them, trying to talk with them," and he says, "Man, it ain't gonna happen, but good luck."
She
Right?
had an invite for months before she even went into that.
Well, so she goes and goes to the Sons of Silence campground, and I'm going to tell you what, the Sons of Silence, the whole club really showed professionalism. Two, Boar and Sons of Silence, Boar 1%er, Sons of Silence, Cody 1%er. They represented the 1% world, the Sons of Silence, the motorcycle club community at the classiest and most highest regards in everything they did, the way they answered the questions, the gotcha shit she tried to pull on them, the race card she pulled on them, the whole 9 yards. And those men, and I called Moore last night and I told him this exact thing. Cody did absolutely responded way better than I would have. I would have took major offense and went high and right. That man really has, I have the utmost respect for him. I know the guy. I've met him. He's a great dude. But as a professional 1% biker in a club that fights so hard to unify the clubs and push income and really keep that train rolling, that club, she tried so hard to fucking trick bag them and put them in a bad light. They weren't having it. And it was awesome. She tried to trick bag and put the Vogels in a bad light. They weren't having it. So when I think what happened is she realized she was interviewing real clubbers, real 1%ers. She's interviewing the real deal and not getting what she wanted to. So what did she do? Went to to law enforcement, and I think they got actors. And then they painted the lifestyle that I fight so hard to keep going into the future, try to change the narrative the public has of us, and just painted us worse than the cartels, worse than these gangland. I mean, just blowing buildings up and just, it was ridiculous, man. It was absolutely ridiculous. And what pisses me off worse is this is an international fucking show because it's on Hulu. Everybody's got Wi-Fi. This just went over the entire world in 30 microseconds and represented every 1% club because they kept saying it. Her, and the cops and all the infiltrators kept saying every 1% club in the United States is a criminal organization. They deal drugs, they mule drugs, they deal in prostitution, they do murder, they do this. And it's like, wait a minute, whoa. You interviewed 2 real clubs, and then you followed around guys that were infiltrators.
If you notice, Shaggy, if you look at the second episode with Sons of Silence, you can tell we were on a different wavelength. We didn't know. We had it all set up with the questions, everything. So it was a total different deal, everybody thought.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, each time there's obviously we know it's going to be for views. I mean, that's what she's in there for, is to entertain and to get views and ratings for her. So then National Geographic's going to like her to right or wrong. But at the end of the day, like what we're kind of want to talk about here is like, where do we go forward, right? And
I'm going to tell you where we're going to go forward.
Hey, hold on, Shaggy. All
right.
But where we're going to go forward in general, you got to do the same similar thing, right? Luckily now there's social media, like Hollywood. You can do your own freaking movie, sell it to someone to play, and do a documentary of what you have to rewrite the narrative. And is it pretty hard? Yeah, it's fucking hard.
Well, we cut
it's not hard.
No, I'm saying to battle. I mean, overall, it's going to be to show it to the masses in regards to get because they're going to throw something right back at it. That you got to keep going with it. But the whole thing is to rewrite the narrative and show what majority of the percentages. Yeah, there's bad apples in everywhere you go. and people act differently. And I mean, trust me, my background. Some people know my background a little bit, and I was more involved, like I say, like organized group, right? And it's totally different than a biker community. Totally different. Like you said about the lines being crossed and everything, totally different. And but going forward, that's where you have to look at. You know, you can be pissed at that, but it's like, okay, what do we do as a whole, as a community? From motorcycle, it screws not only bikers, right? It screws the motorcycle enthusiasts. Anyone riding with a vest or cut or anything on RC is going to be affected by that, because civilians don't know. You know, they might look at someone with a little RC club and they think that they're just going to view them the same way as the Sons of Silence, just because media they tie everybody together. So everybody, it should be for everybody, from independents. Everybody should matter here in regards of making the community itself look good.
So to answer, what's the next step? The next step I already took when the show started or was getting going, and then I kind of blacked myself out and muted my phone. I was on the phone with Double D from the NCOC. And this is a very important thing for everybody to know and listen to. Listen very carefully. After Waco, the NCOC was created. The clubs met in Colorado. They decided that they need to get their narrative out and defend the bikers that were going through what they were going through in Waco. And the NCOC has grown into a very big, not very big, but a very well attended, very well structured as far as all the clubs trying to be represented. 1% and OMC and 99%, right? MCs. And the entire reason for the NCOC is this very exact thing, to get our narrative out, right? And there are some steps that we're going to take. For one, tomorrow we have our meeting. And in the meeting, I'm going to kind of play out what happened in this video and give everybody the direction on where to go to watch this video. And then the following week, we're going to discuss where we're going to go from there. The NCOC is the front line for getting in front of the media. We're the guys picked throughout the United States to represent clubs in our state and in our regions for when shit like Waco happens, shit like this show happens, where it paints us, you know, as nothing more than a bunch of evil deviants that have nothing more on our mind than rape, pillaging, murder, you know, treating people like shit. The things that we were accused of in this, right? I said in my video that I did today that this fight has only begun, and I will take it as far as I can legally take it. Well, that's where the NCOC comes in. That's where NCOM comes in. This is what these two organizations do for the MC community, do for the independent community, do for the motorcycle club community as a whole. This is what everybody's been wondering all these years. Well, what do these two organizations do for us? Right here is what we do. You know, you can't go out. I mean, if I went out and defamed any one of you guys, you could throw a lawsuit at me, and if you can prove it, well, of course, video's playing and it's recording. Me defaming any of you guys can sue me. I lose in court. Guess what? You're going to own whatever I own until I can pay you off, right? Just because National Geographic's trying to play the press thing, they can't go out and defame, do what they did. They can't do that, right? That was, and it really bothers me because Nat Geo is really good about their factual reporting, their equality in reporting. Their beginning biker documentaries were very, very fair, I thought. And the shit they put out there. First off, Hollywood. Did you know the title of her show, which is Traffickers or Trafficking? Did you know that?
We didn't even know that it was supposed to be in a series like that. We thought it was going to be a standalone video talking about bikers and bikers' rights, man. That's what we thought. And
it took me a while to find
contract with them.
What's up?
Did you sign the contract with them and the NDAs and all that?
Yeah, we signed that stuff, and not anywhere in there did it say trafficking.
Right, but there's a fine print with these groups, and it says that they have the right to edit anything they want and play it out Trust me.
Well, that we know. That we know. Us sons, everybody signed it. But there was nothing about it going to be in a format of trafficking. That is what surprised us all. That's why I went off on that trailer. Everything. It was like, what the hell's going on here? None of us knew. They wouldn't return our phone calls. They wouldn't return our emails. Everybody was after them. And then all of a sudden it drops.
Well, a lot of people I talked to between yesterday and today hadn't seen it yet. And
we were supposed to get the rights of first review, and it never happened.
Well, that's seldom ever going to happen. But if you got it in the contract, that's really screwed up that they didn't do that.
Right. I called Big Bone, and I was asking if he was going to be on here tonight. I see he wasn't able to make it, but I told him he needs to watch that show because, this affects the black side of the house. This affects the white side. This affects every one of us. Every one of us.
Well, somebody said in the comments a little bit further up that she said you could, right here, when she said it's easy to find all the 1%ers because they wear their patches on their back. Then she showed a CVMA patch.
Yeah.
One of my brothers, like everyone with a patch is a 1%er. This is it.
Well, here's the problem. We also didn't know. It's National Geographic, I guess, subs from Muck TV, which is her production company. So National Geographic is the distributor. And that's what we thought we were getting, but it actually came from her production.
It's like I told you, like you and I can, and all of us can make our own documentary and sell it to a distributor like Nat Geo. You can sell it to Discovery. You can go to the festivals, and someone will purchase your documentary or your movie, and that's what she did. And then it's like Trump, right? They brand his name. Doesn't mean he fucking owns a building. They just brand his name, and that's what they did with Nat Geo.
Well, I think we're more upset because we went through months of negotiations on this, and the club as well did. They had everything set in stone. They had the questions ready to go, and it just got flipped. And we were like, what the fuck is this?
Well, I understand your point about being kind of backdoored the way you were. And man, I really didn't understand before what you were talking about. And like I told you, earlier when I talked to you, maybe I had something, I was at work and I just wasn't paying attention. But, to me, that's a mood point. That's what media does. I think everything that we're trying to do with this roundtable, everything, I even go as far as saying everything that Social Ghost is trying to do, and everything that cop, Finger Johnson's trying to do, and all these other people that are trying to promote the MC culture, for the most part, it's for a good reason. This video tore every bit of that apart, because people are going to be watching this shit thinking, man, these guys talk about how much fun and shit it is, and actually they're out there, what's fun to them is out there killing people and out there dealing drugs and out there, ruining our society and out there doing all these other things. Well, I can't accept that, and this is a fight that, I don't back away from a fight. I don't back away from being pushed in the corner, and hey, ain't nobody seen pissed off yet.
One thing that we got over them is we got a band of creators with enough audience to get out our message, and that's something
I don't care about our audience. The audience ain't gonna be able to help us. We and the NCOC and INCOM have to go directly at them. They are the ones responsible for the things that they edited and the things that they said and how they portrayed us as clubbers. They are going to answer for that.
Well, they're going to have to answer. They got to answer for
our audience. All they can do is support us, Hollywood. We now, as bikers, this is the time when we have to come together. 1%ers, especially across the board, because I'm telling you right now, there is no goddamn way that they are as they were portrayed. I've been around this lifestyle too long. I would, it would be too prevalent. This is ridiculous.
Especially with the cartel shit.
Well, and then you throw the cartel stuff in there, and that makes it even worse because now we're beyond domestic terrorists, right?
Someone has
Now
an
we
extra.
enter the terrorist order because the Patriot Act covers all of that, right? Once you start dealing with other countries, gangs, and stuff like that,
Shaggy,
There's feedback.
Shaggy, you're.
it ain't me.
Hello. Talk, Shaggy.
Hello.
Yeah, there's feedback.
Let's see if I can't read it out.
Yeah, I'm mute. Check it out.
I've been hearing all kinds of stuff the whole time.
Wasn't me. I told you.
Keep talking.
It wasn't me. Hello.
Keep talking. Keep talking. You were saying something. Keep talking.
Oh well. Damn it. The way after they couldn't get the Vagos and they couldn't get the Suns, the way they portrayed everything after that, it was pushed by law enforcement narrative, Nat Geo, or this Mariana Van Zeller narrative. It was a whole. I have got to connect the cartels with the one percenters to prove that these guys are running the drugs. They're causing the problems. They're bringing this terrorist activity into our country and then pushing it into our people.
Right.
I want to hear D-Lo.
I was getting ready to say that, D-Lo. Welcome to the show. So
Yeah,
D-Lo is a
We got to wake him up.
D-Lo's a TikTok star. He's big on TikTok, and he's come over to our show, and he's building his YouTube and Instagram. So, you guys, I want you guys to make sure to go over and check him out over there on TikTok. I'd like to have it. I've got a TikTok. I want to make it bigger and better. So, Danny, you come from the club scene. Give us your opinion of this. I don't know whether you've seen the video or not, but
No, unfortunately, I haven't seen the show. I was actually trying to watch it yesterday, and I didn't get the chance to. But I mean, look, man, this shit shouldn't even be.
I lost him.
I mean,
There you back.
the media has been fucking with us. MC guys, they've been portraying a certain view of us the whole rip. So I mean, really, this shit ain't new at all, man. I get why people be mad, but you should have expected that. You shouldn't even dealt with them, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree with you more.
That's what I got to say.
D-Lo. And what you said is a fact. We've seen what they did with the ganglands. We've seen what they did with in search of the way they've always tried to portray the angels and the outlaws and the Mongols and all these other clubs of pagans, back in the day, how they really try to portray those guys. They take one or two incidents and they blow it up into this massive, Rico style thing, right?
And they've always done that.
I really, though,
always gonna keep doing that.
what really set me off, though, is I really did not expect it to go to the level. This is the worst level I have ever seen. I mean, the ganglands, they really painted the clubs bad. Hey, they murdered this guy and they got busted for this drugs. And clubs aren't immune to that. I mean, shit happened in our past. It's not very prevalent as much today, this day and age. But the level National Geographic took it to, and this Mariana Van Zeller took this to, that's what bothers me. I mean, it was purposely.
Yeah, I get it, man.
And they're going to keep doing it. Like in media, it's just like journalists. They're going to stretch anything they can. The only thing to do is just like anyone says, if you want to do it right, do it yourself. And if we can do something ourselves, I mean, that's the only thing you can really do. Because
I disagree with that. But we haven't heard from Dirty. Dirty, what do you got to say, man?
He's hungover.
What's that?
You're hungover.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah. But I mean, D-Lo hit it right on the head, man. I mean, what do we really expect? I mean, bikers and motorcycle clubs, regardless of, whether a diamond club or not, they're not sexy to the public. They're not a story unless we're fucking up. Unless we're going out there causing mayhem. I mean, I could spin this camera around and show you a whole fucking pile of toys. Nobody give a rat's ass about it. But if another one of my fucking brothers right now punched a guy at a local fucking bar, it's going to make the paper.
Yep.
That's what it is, man.
Yep.
I mean, we could bitch and moan all we want, but I mean, at the end of the fucking day, I don't think there's a whole lot we can do about it because that's what sells, and that's why we're on TV, and that's why maybe even half these people are listening to my voice right now because they want to hear the dirt, and people love gossip, man. If it bleeds, it leads. You know.
Well, most people are attracted to our lifestyle, you know, and that's why they follow all of us.
Yeah. Well, and they
You
don't
know,
want to
I think
see
like what
Bear.
Wild on Two said, I think is the correct thing, man. If a bunch of us can get together, I mean, we got the following between all of us, between on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on all these different platforms. We all get together, put a little bit of bread together, club wise and non-club wise, and creators, put our money together and do our own fucking show. You know, I mean, who cares who gets the recognition, but put the real deal thing out there. You know, almost kind of like what that guy Chris is doing. That we had on the show last night. Biker Dad. There you go. Yeah, kind of like what he's doing. You know, maybe he'd be a good guy to talk to about it. You know, do our own.
So that's been tried.
Do our own thing.
That's actually been tried, and one
of
the first clubs that I've seen do it were the Hessians. The Hessians had their own documentary done, and it's a very well done club. You know, the club narrative. The guy that did that documentary does a lot of biker documentaries, and
right.
You know, he guarantees it's going to be what the club wants the narrative to be. Right. But he also kind of makes it fair. Hey, back in the 60s and 70s, you guys got in trouble for this, and they interviewed law enforcement, you know. And they've done other documentaries. They've done Sin City. They've done the biker lifestyle is what they call.
Now the cool thing is a lot of people do the individual documentaries, right?
Yes.
We have a nice mix of people, different cultures, races, ethnic backgrounds, religions. Now
Yeah.
We got all these people now. I mean, like it can be more immersive of like traveling the country type of thing, all different, you know, clubs, races.
Exactly.
And the more you do it, the more prevalent it will be, right? The more TV shows that they show that it looks like Sons of Anarchy, Mayans, whatever. I don't know. I've never seen that.
Right.
That's
the way I see it. You know, I mean, let's face it, man. You know, I always get a kick out of guys that you can always tell the guys that ain't been in this world very long when they talk about all of us 1%ers getting together. Look, that's never going to happen. So let's just stop bullshitting each other. But if we could do the show where you can go to different states and sit down and have a meet and greet with each dominant club and put these shows out there and put them on the show and show them the good things that they're doing, you know, around the whole country, that would be the best way to do it, you know, instead
good
of
news don't
like
sell.
you were saying.
Good news don't sell.
But we can sell it. I mean, it doesn't
You're
mean,
right. You're absolutely right, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we can just sell, and that's all. I mean, that's the best we can do. That's the best we can do. And you can go do the legal part.
Right.
I don't mind working on the other
doesn't
part.
sell, but adventure sells and excitement sells.
Yeah.
And
Right.
traveling across country sells.
Yeah.
And riding on a motorcycle sells. And the lifestyle that we have sells.
Yep.
But that
Yeah.
don't sell as
show-
well as blood sells.
Maybe we need to show some of us having wrecks. I don't know, but
Well, I mean, you know,
go ahead.
I'm gonna pass on that show.
well, I mean, you know, it's kind of inherent within the biker culture and with motorcycle clubs that we keep private, and that very privacy when they want to know our business, because they think that we're immediately talking about crimes, we're talking about sex trafficking and drugs and who we're going to fuck over next, when we're really just protecting our club. We're protecting who we are. I mean, that's our shit. We don't need to tell anybody else. They don't need to know our private business. And so what do? Is the media will seek out the people who have been in the lifestyle and have seen it. And unfortunately, those are the ones that have infiltrated it. I mean, you go back to Jaybird, I'm a fucking shithead Dobbins, with this whole Hell's Angels thing. You look at Billy McQueen, you know, with the whole Mongols thing. I mean, fucking Billy McQueen, he even admitted it in himself in his book that he was thinking about leaving the ATF and becoming part of the Mongols and like leaving that whole world and becoming a 1%er. And so, you know, even those guys are attracted to it. I mean, like, you know, people are attracted to the lifestyle, and our silence hurts us.
I mean, and also Americans don't want to project like when they hear a biker, right? They have their picture of what a biker looks like. They don't want to see old Tank with a little teddy bear on his lap, riding with, something all cutesy wootsy, because that's not like
Everybody
what
wants to
people
see
want.
Tank ain't cutesy wootsy.
That's a new
Well, I
fucking
can say
word. I'm
whatever I
using that.
want.
Cootsy wootsy.
Right,
So,
right.
so,
Not BD will freaking censor me all the time if I keep cursing.
so one thing I want to make clear here, though, Dilo, you have a real good point about the clubs not united. I've been part of the NCOM for 7-8 years now. I've been on the NCOC for almost 2 years. I will say this: I have got to sit down at a table and break bread and hear stories and conversation with the NCOC and several diamond clubs, and it was history making. Because I've been in this lifestyle 21 years, and I've seen a lot of shit, man. So it's like it was really historical for me. And then I was approached with the club because of the club I'm in. Two of the clubs that I was sitting with, my club was at war with for a lot of years, and everybody kept coming to me and thought they'd never see that, right? And it was really a privilege to be a part of that. Now,
we're no doubt about it. We're getting closer right now.
We are. The thing is this is a pretty much putting the spotlight on the organization that I try to represent the best I can, and the organization that I really truly believe in their narrative, which is the NCOC and their PR committee that I'm on. It's our responsibility to react and react in a positive manner on issues and situations like this. This is why it was created.
Yeah.
And this is time for the INCOM guys and the COCs to come together in each one of the states and watch this video and get their narrative out there, because this could really hurt what a lot of us are even doing this for. I could really care less about it. This is cannon fodder to me, but it's important enough to me that this is something that we have to fight, because if we don't make a stand now, it's going to continue. This went to a level that the news media has never gone before. I mean, it really did.
Right.
I've watched every gangland. I watched all the shit they did with the mafia. I read the books. That stuff's really important, because snitches like to tell on themselves.
They've never once tried to put the 1% club life with different organizations across the border. You know what I'm saying? They've never really tried to do that until now.
And the thing is they were, by their reporting, was successful at doing it. That's the issue I have. The other thing too is they called 2 of the motorcycle clubs inadvertently. They called 2 of the motorcycle clubs that they legitimately interviewed, and they legitimately sit down with them, liars in public. It said, well, we're not sure they're telling us the truth. Well, then that cop says, well, 1%ers will and motorcycle clubs will feed you a story, but
like they won't.
Right.
They've killed more fucking people than any motorcycle club organization in the world.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest gang, man.
So the thing that I want everybody to understand is, this is something that is great about this roundtable, and the fire it's caught. The thing about some of our channels about what we're trying to do, and as much as I always promote the NCOC and the COC and the importance of those organizations, if there's any time to shine, it's now.
These
clubs are
half the viewers don't even know what that means. Well, like they don't know those organizations. That's where
sure they don't, because here's the great part about these organizations, bro, is they're filled with the leaders. They're filled with the speakers. They're filled with guys who are smart and they're thinkers, and they put everything into perspective. These guys that are a part of the NCOC, they're some of the most amazing leaders I've ever met. They're some of the most humble men I've ever met. They're some of the most passionate men about this lifestyle I've ever met. And they have taken the Waco fight on. They have taken other fights on. You can go on, the National Council of Clubs website and look at the stories that they've dealt with. Go on the Motorcycle Profiling Project website. Look at the stories they've dealt with. Look at the narratives they're putting out. We have experts. We have lawyers. We have all these people that are not our rock breakers. There are people who lead clubs. There are people who have been leaders. There are people who are willing to stand united with a club they may not even get along with, but shoulder to shoulder to get the right narrative about our clubs out there. You know,
Yep.
that is the most important thing.
Did you ever see go back? Because I didn't look. Were they driving on the wrong side of the road as we would in the U.S.?
No, I have been pretty busy all day. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I can't watch it the third time, man. I got a 65-inch TV. It's badass. You know, I don't want to throw something through it.
Well, the reason why we ask is because there was a Jeep incident with a professional hit in Australia, so we didn't know if that was the one they used.
Right. And the other thing, too, that I asked about that is, where's the proof that it was the angels killing this pagan? You know, obviously the dead body, you know, where's the proof that that was actually a pagan? But, you know, where's the proof? This is a huge story. We all would have heard it, man. Hollywood, like I told you earlier, you would have reported that. And you said, well, I don't remember hearing nothing about that. But there's a date code and time when it was recorded.
That has to be Australia, because that's the only one I remember reporting on.
Well, they said it happened in Brooklyn. They said the angels hit this pagan because the pagans moved their clubhouse into Brooklyn. That's exactly what was reported.
Well, they're talking about the one that happened this past year.
I remember when that whole thing came out.
They caught it on camera. The one that they caught on camera.
Yeah, but did they catch the guys that did? Do they know they were angels?
Yeah,
they really?
caught them. Yeah, it was a support or something, and I think this one.
Somebody ratted them out.
I'll look that up because that's something we would have showed.
Oh, it was all.
I remember the story. I don't think we covered it.
Yeah, they showed they have it all on surveillance.
Well, I've seen that. Yeah, they had every shot on surveillance. They sure did.
Now I know.
Yeah, they got caught because
Shaggy can't talk about this, or Tank, or any of the club members. One thing that did come out of the third part of that deal that was really stupid was that 3-0 shit, and hopefully people look over that.
Oh,
you know, I think you need to explain that in a little more detail, Hollywood. I'm not going to explain it because I want people to watch it, but the interaction is what set everything off.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to be quite frank here, guys. We did an interview, and I can talk about this part. Just some other shit I can't talk about. We did an interview with Little Dave. Everybody knows that. Even the crying bitch over on the other channel didn't like the interview, but he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. He didn't know how the club actually felt about this guy. But in that part of that segment, John Sassoni, the one that he was talking about,
Saccone,
whatever, was
Chicago.
Was that's the one he talked about. Asked his wife, didn't he tell you? Well, his interaction with John was more than cordial. And when Mariana asked him, he said, yes, we have a good relationship. We can't talk about it other than that. And there's some other stuff that just came over the wire that we're not at liberty to tell you about prosecutors and stuff, but a lot was exposed. But the interaction where he says, because the cops came back and said, well, there's going to be a funeral for a 50-year member of the Hells Angels. He came back, said it's 3-0 now. That's some RICO shit right there. So it comes down to people talking about stuff they really... This ain't about YouTube. This is about the real world of interactions happening that you guys never hear about, never see. And
this is about the real life that guys like me live every fucking day.
Exactly. And when you got people coming out that don't have interactions with some of the people we do, talking all kinds of crap and trying to give their opinions, it doesn't help the situation. That I can tell you. But that 3-0 shit, that actually made her damn point, and it sucked.
Yes, it did. It absolutely did.
It really did. It sucked.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah. You know, that's opening up a RICO deal. And what I've argued this time during this was RICO don't happen overnight. You're not going to get the damn paperwork. What's going to happen?
They already showed the informer the police officer wearing a full set of colors with rings and patches. I mean, he was riding his
What club
goddamn
was
motorcycle.
that he was representing?
Mongols.
Mongols.
When
Now,
she couldn't get the answers from the other two and get the gotcha shit, she goes, "Well, I'll get the answers from a real 1%er." And they show her following a full patch of Mongol on his motorcycle, and then she interviews him, and they actually show this dude's face. They show his tattoos. You give his real name, the whole 9 yards.
He was undercover, dude.
And he's undercover, and he's infiltrated 2 other motorcycle clubs besides the Mongols.
So that was
I thought Fingers had retired.
Oh,
that
this is a different dude.
Yeah,
His
this
name
was
is, I got it written down. His name is.
That goes into the problem of fucking 1% clubs ain't doing the proper vetting anymore either, you know?
Ah, man, that was a hell of a conversation today with some people. You're right.
Well,
Right.
it goes to the
Yeah.
fact
I
that
gotta say, it was.
I hear you, Shaggy.
It was a little comical though. I wrote one of her quotes down. I fucking about spit my drink out of my mouth when I heard her say it. She's like, what did she say? She said, "You can feel the drum beats of violence." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, what I actually said was you can feel the drum beats of violence in the 1%ers. And did you hear my comment? Did you watch my show? What I said
did.
about it?
I
That's
did.
because
Yeah.
they don't ride gold
What's
wings.
your?
Can one of you guys put that on a T-shirt and sell that? Because that's a pretty good saying, actually.
Well, what I said was,
I'm not wearing it.
what I said, you jump
Damn right
down and
you
listen to the whole band. What you're seeing is an epic time, testosterone, and brotherhood. Listen to the whole fucking band, not just the drummer.
Yeah.
Right?
Heard that.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But that was the real screwed up part. Is by the end of the show that came out of a guy's mouth, and I was flabbergasted. And John sat there and laughed, man. So you seen the relationship right there, and hopefully everything turns out.
That guy. I mean, that guy wasn't real, right?
Kozik was the undercover Mongol.
Yeah, Kozik wasn't real.
No, we're not talking about Kozik.
No, the very last guy, I don't think he was real. He was the 1%er that got hooked up with the cartel. Kozik was real. He is a real dude.
Okay, I was talking about the undercover dude.
No, he's not. He's
He's
not the one that said 3-0. He's not the one who said it.
No. Did you see at the end there where they actually screwed up and didn't cover up his handlebars and shit like that?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, Pox, say something.
He's like,
Can you hear me?
this is fun.
Hawk has been
Hey,
struggling with
he's
technical.
changing settings and backgrounds, man. He's in the house.
Man.
Is that snow back there?
Yeah, man, it's snow.
I showed riders.
12
We're in
inches, right?
church right now. Yeah, man, it was bad.
It's a bunch of wilds dropping off.
So why aren't you in the house? What the hell are you sitting in the car for?
He couldn't get his
we
signal
were-
right.
No, we were in church and I couldn't get a signal in there, so I came outside
Damn,
and voila,
church.
it worked.
Um,
Yeah,
That's
so
good
I
to have
came
you.
outside.
One of the guys who's posted on here, Benny Polana Shaggy, is talking about Daryl Kozlowski, aka Koz. Yeah, that's the guy. Maybe I
Right.
said it wrong. Yeah. Thanks,
Right.
man. Appreciate it.
And I know people say, "Hey, man, why did the clubs do this?" Well, the clubs were under the impression something else was going to be put out. That's what you guys got to understand. This wasn't an overnight yes. This was.
Happens with all the documents. Same thing with Gangling with Discovery. Originally, when I spoke to a lifer from the Mongols, that's not what was told to them. And the title change, the name change, and the whole storyline changed after they got.
It wouldn't be the first time that they would sneak in on us and change things up.
Problem is, we got to fight. You got to fight back.
Oh, the fight's coming. I'm telling you, the fight's coming.
Now I got to get a nice big old cinematography video and fly around with D-Lo and Hollywood.
I already got one, man. We had.
And this is something that Forever V said, and
Yes.
this is a problem. The National Geographic, Nat Geo, you get that banner on there, and they don't lie about animal shows. It's not like they tell a lie about a rhinoceros and it turns out to be a kangaroo. I mean, they have
The
We
thing
don't
with
know.
that, though,
We don't
the
know
thing-
about that.
pretty
that-
decent reputation. So, you know,
the thing with that BD is National Geographic reporters usually gave both sides, even with the criminal underworld.
So
This
here's
one-
what I discovered today about Nat Geo. The Africans we've been sending all that rice to, they're not hungry, they're cold. They need jackets. And the Eskimos up in the North Pole, they're hungry. They already got the jackets. We've been sending shit to the wrong place.
yeah, they're full of it.
I don't know where that came from.
I totally see, just like he was saying,
Yeah,
Nat
yeah.
Geo, that banner, and Dragon, thanks for pointing that out, because this is what I was saying earlier. I've been watching since I was a little kid, man. 40 years I've been watching Nat Geo and reading their articles and had subscription to their magazines because it was factual reporting. It was like that free press that is in our Constitution, right? That they're supposed to report the history. That's what the free press meant. That it was supposed to be factual, not opinion based. They're reporting that show
they were
that I
never
watched last night
reporters.
as a fact based instead of an opinion based.
They were never reporters. They were always
No.
documentary people, and the documentaries they
Yes,
did
it was all
were,
factual.
yeah.
Supposed to be. Yeah, supposed to be.
Well, it used to be.
This was from out of Muck TV, is what it's called. That's
I don't care. They're under the banner that says it's the truth.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
We'll get a
banner.
bigger banner.
Well, I mean,
Well, you know what? We
bigger
can.
and always better.
I'll tell
Right.
you what. We'll get somebody.
You damn Cubans.
Where's this place located? Like, where's their headquarters at? That's what I want to know. How about we'd all just get a bunch of people and ride to the headquarters and have a chat with them?
Oh,
Fuck it.
that's a great idea. I'm gonna put that in a list of things the NCOC, NCOM, all of us can do.
Los
Well,
Angeles.
It's in
I
public.
mean, not even
Wait a minute, Los
not even to
Angeles?
go there and like, not even to go there and start, fucking giving everybody makeup, but
Oh
just
shit!
go there, man. Show up and show in force.
Man,
You know,
Fort Park
and
fell out
talk
of
with
his
them.
truck
And
in the
just be like,
snow.
yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah,
Hey.
Sean, where are you going, man?
Hey, honestly, I'm trying to get home. I had a hell of a day today. I hear y'all talking. If I told you about my day, you guys.
It's too cold to talk.
Get out.
You know, I haven't got to laugh in 2 days, man.
Hey,
Entertain
Pac,
me.
that's why we're trying to visit you in the summertime, man. I ain't going over
Hey.
there now.
Hell no.
Let me tell y'all.
He had to
about my
shovel
day.
snow today, man, or get fined.
Let me tell y'all about my day, man. Y'all finna love this.
Well, no,
So I
no, we
woke
don't.
up
We
this
don't want to
morning-
run off. We've been running off on tangents, so we want to
No,
stick
this-
to the. We want to
I was-
stick
I
to
want to
the.
hear what happened today with fucking Sean.
Yeah, throw Pac on.
I don't want to get off script. So if I can't say it, I'll just keep it to
No,
myself. But
give us the
Well, if you wanna
redacted
hear what
version. Let's get
happened
it.
with
the
Sean-
Yeah.
redacted version. I got up at 7:00, 12 inches of snow outside. Got 2 teenage boys in the house. Had to hound them to help me shovel the snow. Everything is going good. Take my daughter home, drive through the snow, get back, try to make it to church. See, I'm supposed to be on here tonight. Ask what time. He says now. I'm like, shit, it's 7:00 here, but it's 8:00 there. Then I'm having a meeting, and then I get told this what you guys is gonna love. I get told that a detective in our fine city pulled one of my dudes in and told him that the ones in my area don't like the way that I run my program, and if he was him, he would get out because we thinks we're doing too much drug selling. I'm like, what? So
I thought
So
you guys sold
tomorrow-
T-shirts and hats.
No,
no,
you
here
got it
goes.
wrong.
I knew that was not
so
12 inches of snow.
That's
So-
profiling. Why do you keep doing that?
I'm still
No, but-
wishing that it is snow here so I to use my tractor and plow, and it's freaking 12 inches up there.
Hey, shut
So
up,
now we
man.
know-
You're
here
too
goes-
close
Hey,
Hey,
to
quit
the
wishing
right,
the
though.
snow, bro. Nah,
Y'all
man.
gonna love
Nah.
this. Y'all gonna love this. So tomorrow, me and my officers, we gonna go up there. They recorded this interview, and this dude he's being slanderous and liable on me and my club, and I'm finna talk to his boss, and the shit gonna come to a halt, cause I would have to be Lex motherfucking Luthor to do some criminal activity in this little bitty ass town for the last 10 years. You
All right,
know what I mean?
hold up, bro. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. Watch what you say, and let me know how it goes. Like, get my number from Dragon, so I don't have to put it out here. Reason being is your specific incident is an NCOC thing that we deal with.
Oh,
Yeah.
say less.
Yeah.
So less. So anyway, I'm shoveling snow. Gotta love it. That's been my day in a nutshell.
Wow,
Well,
man.
you know what? One thing
that was
I'm
a
hoping is I push NCOM and NCOC, and I hope they come out fighting. I really do.
I truly believe they will. I mean, I really truly believe in these organizations. It took me a long time because, like D'Lo said, man, I was one of those believe, it ain't gonna happen, till I witnessed it. And once I witnessed it, and I met these leaders, and I met these guys that have the same passion that I have, and some of them got some pretty big brains. I mean, all I got to mention is Double D. Every person on this panel knows that man, and knows what he's capable of, and knows what he does, and knows what he's done for the profiling laws across this country. Those that know Bohr, what he's done at the Capitol. I'm talking DC. This is our time to serve our clubs and our organizations like the COCs and the NCOCs and the NCOMs. This is our time to step up and do what we all came together to do.
Well, another
sir.
thing I'd like to just put out there is a correction on the Biker Lifestyle podcast when people didn't understand why I put out a certain name. That's because we worked with the club, and that was put out. I talked to you about that today, Shaggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not giving enough context. Not everybody understands what you're.
He can't.
Okay. So those that need to know, no.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't know what we're doing in the background. They only see what they see on YouTube. They don't know the conversations
Well,
that take.
maybe that's part of the problem.
Right here, dazed
behind the scenes.
and confused. You're absolutely right, man. And I've said this before at NCOM meetings and NCOC meetings. If you say it'll never happen, it won't happen because you got the wrong attitude about it. Here's the thing, man. I love our elders, man. I love to hear their stories. But one of the great things that they'll say is that was our time back then, and yes, we have that history. But it's up to guys like me, guys like in other 1% clubs that kind of have that mentality of, we can't serve our clubs in prison by carrying on beefs that continually carry on because they don't even know why they're pissed off at this other club or hate this other club. They're just being told to, and they bite off into that shit.
I
And
can
a lot of
agree with
clubs
that, man.
a lot of clubs are starting to think about that. Well, wait a minute, man. Why are we fighting each other? This was 3 generations ago, or whatever. A lot of us that really want to see this lifestyle continue and are tired of burying our brothers and tired of writing our brothers in prison and tired of all the hard work that comes with being a club or taking care of their family, shit like that, because we can't take a day, put our egos to the side, sit down, handle the business needs to be handled like men, like leaders, and look, it's happening. It is happening. It's slow. Change is always slow. But the dude is 100% right, man. If you keep saying no and never, it won't happen.
Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of, kind of a mixed blessing that the shit going on with Sean is happening during this podcast because, I mean, the shit that National Geographic put out about the MCs that they interviewed is the main reason why cops are allowed to do what the fuck they just did to him because they know that the public's not going to do shit about it because they're like, well, yeah, these guys are fucking out of control. I'm glad the cops are fucking putting a stop to them.
And it's 100% profiling too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something because I'm just tired. I mean, I don't get tired or nothing too much. I mean, man, it is what it is. But it's just like you do so much good. Why don't you take it for what it's worth? You know what I'm saying? Take the good for what it's worth. And it's like they want to look and look and
justify
look.
them MCATs they're buying and submachine guns and war implements.
And like I said, like Shaggy was talking about, like, of course, if you always say it never happened, it would never happen. But the mentality reason why people still keep a beef, a lot of times you have guys that are still in jail that took one for the club. And then they're going to say, wait a minute, I just did this. I'm in life in jail. And you guys now are going to be getting, and it's a big. It's like, that's what the problem is. It's
Yeah, but on the
Some
other flip side, though, think about
Yeah.
this. Ask those guys, was it fucking worth it?
Right, that's
Just,
the
you know, I
point.
mean, you know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like, we're over
I
here
would,
trying to ride our motorcycles with our brothers and have a good time,
I would,
and all these guys are doing life in prison for it.
Yeah.
I would
You
have
know?
to. You know what? I'm always reminded of a different era. That's fine. That's dandy. Because half of these punks couldn't have made it through the '90s. But when I have best
True
friends,
story.
if I have best friends behind bars for that time period, and they're doing life right now, yeah, I'm still gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
You know,
so
because
that's what I always hear, because I brought that up before.
I get the news. I get the new school stuff. I get it. I do. But a lot of them are still sitting behind there, and a lot of guys went to the grave too.
Well, let me
So
put this out this way then, okay? I hear all these different things, right, being said about, well, this is the way I think, this is the way I think, this is the way I think. D-Lo fucking nailed it right off the bat with what he said. One, guys that I've talked to that are in the pen, they'll flat out tell you, man, you know, I did what I had to do for the club. I'm serving my time now. But if not a single brother has to come back to this place or come to this place, then I'm down for my. If you're your brother's keeper, if you're down for your club like you are, when is it time to change the narrative? Right now, by us arguing over, you know, hey, I'm gonna back these cats up because you know that's just the way it is, and them guys are serving time, and I'm on their coattails, and I've always got to watch and respect what they did. Yes, we watch and respect what they did. However, only we can change our narrative. Only we can change how the public views us. Only we can change the membership we get. Only we can change each other and our ability to communicate with each other in a manner to where we ain't got to go to prison no more. We ain't got to kill each other no more. We're not gangs. The more we act like gangs, the more we get treated like gangs.
Well, that's the good thing about a narrative, right? A narrative is made to be changed. It could be changed, and that's what a narrative is. You could change a narrative, and it could be changed, but it has to be put in work. You can't just try one little thing and say, "Okay, it ain't working." It's a long. It's going to be a long walk.
But the point you're what you're saying, Wildon, is the whole purpose of the NCOC was all these 1% clubs across the United States and all these other clubs across the United States came together and sat down across from each other, and that's to include the pagans, the Mongols, the Hells Angels, the Outlaws, the I believe the Vagos, the Outsiders. I mean, the list is huge. The list is huge, and they all sit down at a table and said, "Okay, something's got to change."
Well, yeah.
It's happening. And
well, I mean, I'll tell you what. If I don't care what club you're in, if you, like Shaggy, you're a vet, BD, you're a vet, all the vets from different clubs. If you didn't have your patch on, you guys sat down with a beer, you guys would get along. Guaranteed. I had somebody on the show that we had to take it down. It was one of the big clubs. One of the rival club members called me up and said, "Hey, I actually like this guy. If he wasn't for who he is, I would actually want to hang out with him." But
you know what I tell everybody? All motorcycle clubs are the same. Motorcycle club is a motorcycle club is a motorcycle club is a motorcycle club. The only differences is our founding and what we stand for. But we all believe in the same thing, riding our motorcycles, flying our colors, loving our brothers. Right?
Pac, what are you doing now, Pac?
Some clubs have better looking bitches, I gotta say though.
Just got in the house talking to my little wife.
You are not lying, Hollywood.
That's true, Hollywood.
What the hell happened to us, man? We got all these older ones, man. These younger kids have some bomb ass ones. Lighten it up.
The younger
dude,
kids.
I was at a certain club party in Chicago not long ago, and it's a mixed race club. And I'll tell you, man, I was like, damn, you know, like where'd these women come from, bro? Like they were all fucking bad in there, man.
Hey, we haven't fallen off our game. We still.
One thing I can't, you know, I know I try to make a little thing.
I've been seeing these pictures that BD be posting too, man. I'm like, bro, I need to hang out with that guy.
But I really have a lot of faith in NCOM, NCOC, especially NCOM, because we were given that award and we've seen a lot of good stuff. That's why we thought this was going to go that way. Soon that I have a lot of faith, so I'm open. I do. You know, everybody knows what we do. We do the biker news, but behind the scene, the clubs know at least we're going to give them a second. We're going to give their choice too. We're going to give their point of view out there. And that's one of the reasons why we got that award. And BD got it last year.
So let's do this now. Let's do this. Let's make a shift in this. We've spent an hour bitching about it. How, and this is the name of the show tonight. How do motorcycle clubs win the news media war? How do we win that war?
Until the mentality of the country changes, of this liberalism, and the minority wins out over the majority, it's not going to change. Until the media starts acting like a responsible media that they used to be, it's not going to change. When the historical things that the media was supposed to originally do under the Constitution goes back to that, and they leave their op-ed shit out of it, it's not going to change.
I have to, you know what? That's one thing I'll have to disagree with, because right now with media, everybody's so sick of them. They're going to, well, let's take Tim Pool, for example. He gets more hits than CNN does.
The underground media is doing better.
People are starting to go to the independents because they're so tired of it being slanted left, or they're tired of it being slanted right. And that's a big responsibility for creators to do, is try to get the right narrative out there. That's why people come to us, because if you look at this show right now and the numbers when BD come, because I always call them the next day and ask the numbers, you have people watching us for 30, 40 minutes. That's a prime time viewing right there. We got that many people watching us for that long a time. They're watching us more than a damn sitcom. And say with Tim Pool, he's racking up millions of views on his stuff.
Who's Tim Pool?
Oh, he's one of the best independent reporters out there. It's
He's got
look up
a podcast, and he airs at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day. He just talks about the news and everything from a libertarian point of view.
And then you have somebody like Joe Rogan, who is just huge. And
he's a horrible comedian, but he does great interviews.
You're damn right. And that's why everybody was saying, hey, why don't you moderate the debate? Because he gives both sides. It's a combination. The creators need to band together and say, okay, let's put out an air. 2, let's do our own doc work. After this happened with us, because we had a deal inked with a major distributor for a reality TV series, our lawyers cut them. We cut loose from them. We gave that up because this pissed me off so bad. We can do something like that. You know, we just got added, and it surprised the hell out of me. Actually, Brian and Take's program is the most popular on the channel right now. And that's Roco TV. We got our own channel. Now it's been put in regions all over the world that quick. That's something we could do. We got to put out the content. Hope the NCOC hits it from that end. You know, it can be done. Popeye and OG did it down in Texas, man, with Abel Reyna. They changed the narrative where they beat an incumbent by 20 points. They did it.
Okay, so back to what BD was saying, how do we change, how do we win or whatever? Is that what you asked, BD? How do we win?
Yes.
Okay, so how we win is we quit talking about other things outside of our motorcycle club community. We quit talking with the big organizations, period. National Geographic, you're done. You'll never get another biker interview. You know, we treat it like as the chairman of the COC in Missouri, I have a rule. If there's a place out there that says no colors, I don't care if they only have one store or they have 100 stores. If they have 100 stores and they only got one store that says no colors, that whole chain we don't go to. You know, if you're not going to have the same rules for everybody, fuck it. We're not going there. We have to stand just like in Waco. We have to stand together, and how we win is give your organizations that came together to do this kind of stuff the chance to do it. And if they fail, then man, they fail. But they don't. The NCOC has not failed yet. And knock on wood, I hope they keep their winning thing going because they have some of the smartest people there. Give us the chance to do what we came together to do. The organization is only 7, 8 years old, 6, 7, 8 years old, somewhere in there. And so these things like Waco was like major escalation of causing it. And since then, they've been able to keep these fires put out quickly. All right. We need, as creators, to avoid furthering the topics until these organizations who are picking these things up do what they need to do. Because a lot of the things are done out of the public's eye because the public doesn't need to be a part of it in the aspect of it keeps, it's like the treasurer's roll, man. You only have one treasure, so you have so much fingers in the money, right? This is the same thing. Less is more is the aspect of it. We give them the opportunities. We have to play the politics. We have to follow the laws. We have lawyers that help us with that. You know, we also want to keep a good name and a professional name on the bikers that are involved with this. You know, I could rail on and rail on and rail on about how upset I am about this. That's to get my point out there to get everybody's attention. And I'm truly, truly upset at it because, like I said, it's a whole new level. Now, how do we win? We let those organizations just say, hey, this is what we're here for, step in. And then if they don't fail, then, you know, it's plan B. We become 1%ers, turn your TVs off, turn the media off, go back to silence. And you think the cops are really going to like that?
Where the hell?
That's interesting. He'll be back. Okay. Dirty. What do you think? How do we win?
Well, quit doing dumb shit and getting caught on camera.
I was just going to say.
I mean, that's just
Well,
all there is to it.
that doesn't
I mean,
help.
we could try to shift the narrative. I mean, let's be honest. Channels like Nat Geo and CNN and all that shit, they're a dying breed. Like Hollywood was saying, everything's going on streaming platforms like YouTube, and that's why YouTube, you know, they try to restrict your content and they try to tell you what you can and can't say. They demonetize people all the time, and at the end of the day, that's kind of where everything's going to go anyways, because guys can just get sponsors and they can make their money that way. They can go on Patreon. They can do all sorts of things. I mean, we're more connected nowadays than we ever have been as far as like a society, you know? I mean, I know what's going on in other aspects of the country that I never would have known about, you know, 20 years ago. Because social media, because of certain channels, because of certain podcasts, everything like that. So as long as we just keep fighting a good fight, putting out our point of view, I mean, it's going to be a battle of eyeballs, you know. And obviously, I think, in my personal opinion, things like podcasts and YouTube channels are going to win that fight. I mean, the numbers show it. Like, you know, Joe Rogan is, you know, he puts CNN, a multi-bajillion dollar network, to shame. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah,
we
his
just gotta
numbers
keep
are
on putting it out there. Hopefully, people will pick it up.
It's like you said too. I mean, I literally set up a whole thing. I was going to be following a club or a couple of clubs, and those couple of clubs did something dumb, and it's all over national news, and I had to put a halt on it. It was not the right time for it. But I mean, I'm still about, like you said, overall the underground media is going to be taking the numbers by a whole, and that's what most people are looking at right now. Like you said, the Fox and the NBCs, Nat Geo's is dying breed. It's just like malls. Malls are becoming less and less needed and wanted. Everything's done online through different channels and media. I still believe that we can control and do our own media and come up with something while the people work on the legal side.
So what about you, Tank? What do you think? How do we win this battle?
I don't know if we're ever going to be able to win it. You know, I was in ABATE, active in ABATE for a long time, and in the Wisconsin area, we constantly dealt with Gannett Publishing, and Gannett Publishing just had it in for anything that was motorcycle related. To the point where like ABATE would even have like officers training where we talked about, you know, don't talk to Gannett Publishing. And so I don't think you're going to really be able to win the war, because if we go and we try to fight against it, it's just going to feed their fire, man.
Okay,
you know,
so
I mean, it's just like giving it life. You know what I mean?
So do we all become sheep then?
I'm not saying to become sheep. But I'm just saying, if we give it life, if we continue to call them out on it and say, hey, man, you're fucking up, you're portraying us wrong, instead of just being who we are and continuing to do the good that we do. We're never going to be able to get around the stigma, so why fight it?
Well, so thank you for that intro, because here's what I got to say about that.
You're breaking.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Behind my big ass head, there is a sign, and on it it says, a life of chance for a breath of freedom. My mentor and God in my club came up with that years ago. And listen to what that says. This is the life of chance that we live as bikers and clubbers and one percenters for that breath of freedom. When we say stuff like, well, you know, we just keep doing what we're doing, and we don't stand up to them, and we don't tell them to cut it out, and we don't tell them no or anything like that, we give up a little bit more of our freedoms. We are fighting American people that don't like our freedoms infringed on. And that's why one percenters aren't like, because we won't tolerate our freedoms being infringed on. I served in the military because I believed in that Constitution. I carry one in my cut every day. You know, I'm not going to just quit because I think that's going to solve the problem. What's going to solve the problem is fighting back to them. And that's why these organizations were started, because nobody was fighting back to them. Many people had that same mentality. Let's stay in the shadows. Let's stay out of the limelight. Let's not be known. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Hopefully nobody will look. Well, a train wreck happened. Gangland, all that shit like that. Then a bigger train wreck happened that over-glorified our lifestyle. And then an even bigger train wreck happened. They made a spin-off of it. And so we, as a society that's over 120 some odd years old, 22, 123 years old, have every right and every responsibility as clubbers, brothers to our brothers, being our brothers' keepers, being the responsible stewards of our lifestyle. If we don't fight, then we ain't the bikers we say we are. And if we don't fight, then we ain't the one percenters we say we are. And we ain't the people that we say we are, that have integrity, honor, loyalty, respect. We have the codes that we follow. We come up with phrases and meanings like, I am my brother's keeper, brotherhood, you know, integrity, respect, love for my brother. You know, we take away from that core that created this whole thing that we call the motorcycle club community.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like Hollywood said, look at back in the day with Howard Stern. He tried to go up against the media. All he did was go to an uncensorship, well, the XM at the time, right? Was it XM? And started putting his own media. His numbers got bigger than the other radio shows. Same thing with the private media. You can go against them. I mean, you're not. You know,
now everybody's Howard Stern. He made the cookie cutter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I gotta ask anyway to NCOM or NCOC. You know, we're talking about how they were portrayed, all that stuff. It doesn't help when there's all kinds of crap out in the street.
So honestly, guys, maybe I'm saying this wrong. It's not about the media layout. It's about the message that was sent. Okay, that's the problem. It's the message that was sent. You know, I don't care that they're a dying breed. That message that was sent went worldwide. That message that was sent about the American motorcycle club community,
and no one's saying,
negatively.
and no one's arguing against that. You know, the whole point is finding the right trajectory. What to do. You know, everybody's upset to a point. It depends on what you're going to do with that energy now, right? That's the whole thing.
So, hey, before my battery goes dead on my phone right here, I'm going to say what I got to say real quick. I think the only way we could truly fight this bullshit is by fixing ourselves within. I mean, we really can't blame fucking media when, I'm not going to say what clubs, but we all know what clubs I'm talking about, when two fuckboy ass clubs have a shootout on the highway because they were passing each other. Like, we really can't change the narrative when you got people out there doing dumb shit. So the only way to really truly fix this situation is to fix ourselves first and then portray it out to the media. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely correct.
I mean, that
We
whole
need
thing just
Danny on here as
disgusted
a
me.
We need Danny on here as a permanent.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. But hey, listen, my battery's about to go dead. I've been on here long enough.
Peace
And
out.
I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be on here. BD, good meeting you, bro. Good meeting all you
Danny.
guys, and I appreciate it.
Hey, look
Take
here,
care.
man. We're gonna have you back on this thing, man. Thanks for coming.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Y'all be
Okay.
safe.
Hey, Shaggy, when you move, your mic is screeching. That's what it is.
Sure, it's me because it just went away. It wasn't me. It was
So,
Tio.
Hollywood, we didn't ask you. What do you think is going? How do we win this war?
Well, I think if there's an old deal, and I don't know if it's still going. It's called Bikers Behind Bars, and it let all the guys know what was happening because they're behind in the scene. I'd like NCOM and or NCOC, and I've talked to another gentleman about this, feeding us creators, especially the ones doing biker news, what's going on, what points do we need to get out there as far as what you want us to get out there. Like a monthly deal. We do it with MRF will send us stuff, we'll put it up on air. I think it'd be something good for NCOM to say, hey, we got this problem with no colors going on in Oregon. Okay, we'll pick it up, put it out there. Because we're the mouth, we got the numbers. And as much as I know NCOC and NCOM, a lot of people don't know who they are. But if they feed us something where we can get it out to the biker community, it'd be awesome. Just feed it to us, we'll put it out there. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we put the bad stuff out there because that's what we are. We're news. It's on the news. But we also can put that out there too.
Yeah. And then a lot of times also who you're aiming the message to. You got to aim it to the young, the future. Because that's who right now they're molding their brains into believing what is told on media. They're the ones that, we have to kind of push. And so in the future, they're the ones telling their kids, what's truth or not.
Well, I get upset because the young ones don't know who NCOM is.
No, they don't.
They don't know who they are, what they did. They don't know who J.R. Reed is. And you'll get creators saying, hey, we need to start this movement. Well, wait a second. NCOM already freaking exists to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm out on the street and I talk about it, they give you this deer in the headlight look like they don't know what NCOM is. Well, I think we need to push them more as creators.
Well, even like the COC, there's a lot of clubs that have their officers, COC, officer for the club itself, but there's some clubs that think it's a joke.
Well, we also have to beat this cop narrative because they got an alternate to NCOM. It's called the Law Abiding Association.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to beat this narrative that, hey, 1%ers aren't controlling NCOM. Everybody is a part of it. That's the stuff we got to put out.
I guess nobody listens when I speak about NCOM and NCOC because I constantly talk about this exact thing. I constantly talk about why I started my channel, my target audience, right? And you guys have all complimented me on the success I've had. As was said earlier, bitching about it's not doing nothing for us. But the fact of the matter is, we have to quit bitching and start unifying. Look at the situation this country just went through with all the riots and all that shit like that. All them people were unified, man. They were together. They were willing to do whatever to get their point across.
Mm-hmm.
It's that call of action that we throw out there. It's time for the bikers to do the same damn thing.
At the same time, Shaggy, we got NCOM, but we also have on this platform a guy who is a cop in a cop club, part of that law-abiding association, has over 150,000 subscribers. And he's pushing the biker revolution, and he's pushing these narratives about NCOM where we need to fight that.
Well, here's one way to do it, man, and I'll call you out on this. If we're going to speak about NCOM and NCOC and the importance of them, and you're going to speak about them, start showing up at the events that we have twice a year. Start showing up to these things so that when you're reporting, you're giving firsthand information. It seems like when people speak about them, they're not speaking about them correctly. They're just speaking about what they think they know, and they're expecting them to give results because of the expectations they have of.
Actually, we were invited last year, but that COVID stuff.
You're scared of yeah, I was there.
Yeah, actually, me and BB were invited, and
hell yes, I was scared of it.
I know you were.
The thing is
terrified of it.
Everybody get involved. Get involved. I've said it 100 times over. We had a whole episode about how to help out with the biker laws and all that stuff like that. And all of us said it. You have to get involved. It's the only way it's going to work. Like D'Lo said, you got to fix yourself first, but at the same time, get involved.
But how do we fight a narrative with a guy that, and we were talking, social media is where everybody goes. This guy has 150,000. Everybody knows he's a cop.
I don't give a fuck about that guy. And people are going to see through him. It doesn't need to affect the narrative we're having. He's spending too much time on our round table, and he's not even a part of the round table.
Hey, Sean, what do you think we should do?
What?
Yeah, I was trying to come to you. How do we win? How do we win the media, the news and media battle as motorcycle clubs?
Well, honestly, I think
because you got a battle, you got to win tomorrow.
I fight a battle every day, just being who I am. Waking up out my bed is a battle. But I think honestly, hey, that's real spit. You know what I'm saying? That's real spit. Every day I wake up because I'm a Black American. I got a battle. I got to fight, and I ride motorcycles. So that's 2 times bad. You know what I mean? So I feel it, and that's just the way that life is. But I think how you fix it is one, you can't put your head down and just hope it go away, because if you guys pay attention, a lot of people have done that, and it's not got nothing but screwed over. When you just put your head down and hope that they don't mess with you and it's gonna go away, who are we? You know what I'm saying? We stand for more than that. You got to stand up to it. And the first thing you got to do, if they saying you doing this, you got to show them that you're doing that. And if there's people within your organization that's going against the script, what you want to be about, tell them to get out. Because like Shaggy says, this is not a gang. We're not a gang. You know what I mean? We're motorcycles enthusiasts. So if you want to do some gang shit, go over there with Tony Soprano, And once you clean up the infrastructure, how can people not see what you're trying to do? But we have to get rid of all the negative within us first for people can really accept. Should that be the way that it is? No. But we live in America, right? People believe they see one bad thing. They think that's just the way that it is. But if you continue to be repetitive and knocking on the door and saying, this is what I'm about, this is what I'm about, sooner or later, you'll start changing the perspective of the people that see or thought you were something totally different. But I'm never going to put my head down and just accept it, because you put your head down and accept it, man, they'll do anything they want to do to you. You know what I mean? You got to speak up. If you know that you're coming from a good place and you know what you're standing on, if you're standing on facts and truth and a belief system, you can never put your head down. You got to stand up and shout it out from the mountain. And people can't, like when I just started my little thing, when you said, what would you do? It's like every day you wake up as me, I got to wake up because how I look at all the bullshit that's coming. Then you throw the colors on my back and here goes some more. So I'm used to it. But how do we fight it here? It's like we go straight to the issue. Like tomorrow, I'm going to go knock on the door. I want to talk to your boss. I'm not doing anything wrong. So that's how I stand up to it. And I'm going to continue in my organization. We're going to continue to do good things for our community. And we're going to continue to vet the people that want to come into our program. And if they're not with the same thing that we're about, they won't be here. That's what I think.
Nailed it. You're right, Bob.
So
That's right.
let me give you guys some of my ideas here. So when it comes to how we win this war against social media and against the media and the news, we are in a battle with these folks. Hollywood got to see it firsthand. We've got to see it in gangland and this one called trafficking, and it's sensational, and people want it. They love it. They chew it up. They eat it up. But I've written books about this. The book I wrote called the Public Relations Officer's Bible. This talks about public relations and how motorcycle clubs should deal with public relations. For instance, what Pac is facing tomorrow. It's a public relations nightmare that you've got some cop running around pulling people in and telling them about what's going on. You have to learn how to deal with the media, press releases. Every time a motorcycle club goes out and delivers food for the homeless or whatever it is that we do that's positive, we never talk about it because we're proud. We don't have to tell everybody the good things that we do, but we need to. We need to tell everybody the good things that we do because the bad things that we do are generating so fast. You can't even shake a stick at it. So one of the things that we need to do is every time you're doing something positive, you have your secretary or your social media person or your public relations person. That person needs to be sending out press releases. I know that's kind of weird for clubs to be thinking about, but managing media, managing the public concept, that corporations have whole divisions towards this. Motorcycle clubs need to get better at managing our publics. Our publics are the people that see us and see what we do. We got to get better at managing what's going on. This thing that Hollywood did with these folks, we have to understand that any one of those folks that comes to us is a wolf in sheep's clothing. We got to understand how to manage them, how to tell our story. I'll give you an example. In 2011, 2012, a Black Sabbath was murdered on the doorsteps of our clubhouse. And when that happened, this media coverage went worldwide. The entire world saw this. It was reported in every place from Hong Kong to Ireland to Japan, everywhere. And this thing that I'm showing you right here is I went up online and I found one of these when the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club president was killed. This was one of the nicer ones. This happened in San Diego. Everything we saw, it was everything from Black Sabbath, outlaw motorcycle bikie killed. It was horrible. And we won this because if you go and you research, you'll see all these crazy, terrible headlines. But when you read into the story is only what I wrote, because every single day I got on the internet, I got on my social media page, and I put out a statement from the Black Sabbath. So they could start it off with outlaw motorcycle club biker murdered, but in the end they would get back down to our story. The mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club nation is in mourning, blah, 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 blah. I controlled that narrative. My club controlled that narrative. And no matter what they tried to put on us, see, reporters and stuff, they're very damn lazy. So no matter what they tried to put on us, when they would go to get a story from us or whatever, it was already up on the internet. It was already up on our social media site. So we controlled that narrative. So even if we got bad things going on, if you control the narrative, if there was a murder or a fight or a this or that or the other, coming out and controlling that narrative instead of sitting back. There's a lot of ways that we can go about winning this war, but the biggest thing to win this war is that we take control of what's being put out, not change the narrative, control the narrative. We're not going to change the narrative. We're going to control the narrative, because so many times we just don't speak. And it's especially the 1%er clubs. They're not going to say nothing. And saying nothing means only one story gets out. When you put two stories out, there's something to compare and contrast against. There's so many other ways where, directions I could go in this. But the biggest thing is, I mean, let's face it, we're not going to stop clubs from fighting each other. We're some of these brothers that do these crazy things, we don't get rid of those brothers because we need those brothers in our ring when things go bad. So sometimes those brothers that are the worst for the club are the best for the club when things go bad. But
Hey, Black Dragon, I got to jump off here. I got to get a video uploaded for tomorrow on this.
Talk to you later, man. Appreciate you.
See ya.
I got.
So it's controlling and winning the media war on the streets, and that comes from directly handling the narrative ourselves. So with that, I'll let whoever else wants to speak go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to chime in and say I am the club secretary, and I've got pages of media contacts and television contacts, and I'll put the press releases out there. I'll contact and put the articles, stuff for the articles when we're going to do it about our toy drive, or about the family we help, about the Echo families that we help every year for Christmas. The point that I was trying to make earlier when Shaggy got passionate and jumped in,
My bad.
is I'm not saying lay down. What I'm saying is that we're not going to be able to control what they do with the information once they get a hold of it. And so, A, don't do stupid shit. B, don't talk to them unless you can, like you said, control a certain portion of the information by having it readily at hand, for them to be able to access your Facebook page, your website, your social media, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of things that are working against you. And when I said that to not give it life, is what I mean by that is fuck them. Just treat them like a gnat sometimes. Don't even provide the fucking fodder for them to be able to come back at you. So don't seek it out. Put up your fight, but put it up in a controlled manner, in a manner that you have, you're better able to control your own narrative of the club. I'm not saying not fight.
You know what? BD, he did the realest thing a while ago. We had an incident happen here. Somebody, I don't know if they were stabbed or whatever, and the police, the newspaper put out it was a stabbing at our clubhouse, and they tried to make it seem like we were the epicenter of all the violence in my town. So my VP, smart dude, he went and got the police report for all the calls. And this is when I really started talking to Dragon. He said this to me a while about controlling the narrative. We took a map and we put pins on this map, and we went live on Facebook, and we showed how many actual crimes happened in our fire clubhouse in 10 years, and it was 3. And if you took the pins and went all around our city, there was clusters that wasn't nowhere near us. So we controlled that narrative. We went live and we put it out, and the people that knew us, they understood, and they were like, yeah. But it wasn't for those people. It was for the people who read the newspaper and believe that this is all factual. A lot of times, man, it seems like people you could do 10 good things, one bad thing happened, you were the one that caused it. So every time something happens now, we're quick. We have a good relationship with the newspaper here, but our biggest instrument is our Facebook, right? Something happens, we get on Facebook and we go live, we discuss it, we talk about it, we leave it up for people can ask questions. And we try to, I want to face everything head on. I don't want to be quiet, because if you be quiet, you give people time to form an opinion, like Dragon said. And the only opinion that I want people to be informed on is the right one. If we were wrong, we'll admit we were wrong, however it comes out. But most of the time, we didn't have nothing to do with it. But you have to be able to stand on what you did and what you're doing and put it out so people can see it, and they can get all the information and make a good conclusion.
That's good stuff, man. All right, so we've been at this about an hour and 46 minutes. It's probably time to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Look here, man. I appreciate everybody here on the show. For those of you who don't know, Tank and Dirty from the Biker Lifestyle Podcast are now going to be hosts on the show. There are now our co-hosts, and we also have Pac, who's now an official co-host. So the show's growing; it's getting bigger, and it's we're attracting really great, cool people. So I'm glad to have you guys on the show. We got Shaggy back, and we're glad to have Shaggy back. We didn't have Dibber tonight. One thing I have to say, and Dibber said, I'm not going to come on because I'll just be repeating what I've said all along, and that is that clubs in the UK they have decided since I think he said about 1981 or 89 or something that we're just not going to deal with the media. We don't trust them, and there's no way that and they're untrustworthy, and we're not dealing with them, and that's that. And so, if you want Dibber's take, that's what it is. Very simple, very plain, and you could probably see him say that in 1,000 various videos that he's done. But anyway, we're going to be moving on. Any last final stuff from you guys, and we'll head on and see everyone next weekend. So, any final things?
No, just the same thing as Tank said. I mean, I totally get what he meant to say about going after like a big media or something. At the end of the day, it's the same thing that you tell a prospect or something, right? Everybody has their own journey. We pick our journey. Don't matter about what they're doing, anybody's doing. Just do what we got to do. Look forward and just truck away, and that's all we could do.
Any of the other guys?
Yeah, I was taught a very important thing about content and intent when I was a prospect, and I lived by that very, very powerful lesson that I learned. And I was the second part of that lesson though was you could say anything in this world that you want to, especially as an American. You have that right to do so, the freedom of speech right. But there's two things you got to be willing to accept. One is you can say anything you want to, but be willing and able to get punched right in the mouth. Second thing is if you get punched in the mouth, if you don't get knocked out, be willing to punch the guy across you who punched you in the mouth. I will say this: this lifestyle has provided me with an amazing, amazing, blessed life. I will do anything in my power to fight to keep it going, and I won't give up. I don't believe in that. I was an American veteran. I am an American veteran, and I am true to this lifestyle. I felt like my community was punched in the face, and I'm one of the leaders in this lifestyle that will punch back. And, that's the American way. We protect ours. We protect our families. We protect our communities. And when they're attacked, people quit standing up. I was never taught to kneel to anybody or back down from anybody. And whether it's the media or whether it's another man, I'm going to protect my community and be a good steward of my community. And I think that American tradition has been kind of lost. People just don't want to fight no more. They just rather slip to the side, quit ignoring important issues, and start standing together. Start standing for what is right. And what is right is at least tell the truth about me. I'm not a criminal. And I was labeled, and my club was labeled. My brothers were labeled. My club community, the 1%ers I know across this country, was labeled as the scourge and criminal terrorist in this country. And we're veterans, we're patriots, we're Americans. We don't deserve that. And everybody should just be absolutely beside themselves over this derogatory thing that was thrown at us, and we should all be unified with our feet firmly into the sand, willing to fight back like we took over countries in the past for our freedoms.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys all next week. So peace.
Practice safe sex.
Hawk, you need some beanies in your store.
Oh yeah. You know something wild? Somebody asked you what your shirt
I
stood
got
for.
him.
Oh,
Yeah, let's get to some comedy.
It's just comedy because we were called the Zoom crew. So to get it right, I put the StreamYard crew, bitch.
And I got beanies for you. I got beanies
Yeah.
for you too. They in there.
Okay, cool.
You guys take care. Peace to you all. Have great Sunday night. Take care. So listen, appreciate you guys tuning in. There is power in social media, and we're going to win this war by taking the power of our social media platforms. You know, one thing I've noticed while I was really getting into the biker news and everything is that a lot of times they would demonetize our channels. And we weren't doing anything any different than the big channels. And I was wondering, well, why do they demonetize us but not the big channels? And it dawned on me that no matter what CNN does or what Fox does or any of those other guys, they will never cover biker news as well as Hollywood and I will, because we have an inside scoop into it. So if somebody is looking for some Lisa Ling, and she goes and she sits with the Mongols and has an interview with them, and I go sit with them, my interview is going to be completely different, and you're going to learn something, and she's just going to get laughed off like she did. So they're jacks of all trades, but masters of none. And when they start competing against little bitty creators like us, well, we got creators that do lizards and cooking and biker news and RVs and prepping, and all those little guys grabbing 100,000, 200,000 views on their little channels. That becomes millions of hours of views. And I notice one thing is that you guys will go from show to show to show to show. You'll go from Hollywood show to Shaggy show to Wild on Two show to the biker podcast. You go to Danny D'Lo show. You'll go from show to show to show. My show, because you decide, I like motorcycle content, and I'm gonna go to Adam Sandoval, and that's all you'll do. That's all you'll look at. And when they have to compete against us for that, this is one of the reasons that they demonetize us and stuff like that, because we are becoming a huge force. No longer are you forced with cable TV where you got to watch basket weaving 101. You got to pay for all this stuff when you can just really like you can really watch what you like. You can look at what you like. And if all you like is biker stuff, you could watch it's getting to the point you'll be able to watch biker programming 24/7. And what do you like? Bikers, race cars, race bikes, biker camping, biker traveling. You can have all that, and we not have to deal with those flakes at all. And so this is what's going on. This is what we are seeing, and this is how we'll win this war. How bike clubs will win this war. Now, are we going to win the war with people that are not interested in biking and bike clubs? I don't know. That one is going to be interesting. So that's where sharing comes in. You guys sharing our content with your friends, especially if you see something like that would be educational that a friend of yours might want to know about bike clubs, and you see it on here hey man, you were asking about bike clubs, let us know. That sort of thing is how we share out to the audiences, because in each one of you guys are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views. That's what's in each one of you guys. So we need that. We need that support. We need you sharing us all. We need you following us all, sharing us all, telling people about us, because we're going to try to give it to you straight, and we're going to give it to you real. And that's why I'm glad that you guys are watching, and that's what we're trying to do. So anyway, until next weekend, listen, I'm looking for, if you're in the Atlanta area, Greater Atlanta area. I'm looking for a videographer that knows how to edit in Adobe Premiere. So I need a person like that to help me with my production. So you can get a hold of me at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. There's 2 B's in Sabbath, Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, or you can call me at 404-692-0336. There's my number down on the bottom. So if you know somebody like that, please give me a shout, because I'm looking for somebody to do that. Also, we are simulcast on the Dragon's Lair, LAIR, Motorcycle Chaos. That's our podcast. Anywhere you get podcasts from the Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos, please go over there, Spotify, iTunes, whatever, and check us out over there. BikerLiberty.com is our online news magazine. Our books are available if you want them autographed at blackdragonsgear.com, blackdragonsgear.com. If you just want to get a book, it's available on Kindle and Amazon. And in December, this month, towards the end of the month, I will be putting several of my books on audio, so you'll be able to get them that way. We also have our what's it called? It's called the Discord server. There is a description in here on how to get to our Discord server. We'd love for you to come to the Discord server and join our community and check us out. We got a big, beautiful community over at Discord server. Lissa Lee is one of the folks that really supports our Discord server. We want to thank her. And you guys go over there and check out our community there. Please, Instagram, my Instagram, which is right over here. My Instagram is Black Dragon Biker TV. Please go over to our Instagram and check us out. We're on Instagram TV. Oh, there it is up there. Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram and Instagram TV. Please check us out there. We have a TikTok called Black Dragon Biker TV. Please help us. We're trying to get to 10,000 on our Instagram, Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram. So check us out over there. And I think I've run through all that stuff that I'm supposed to do that we call housekeeping. Somebody said bike clubs are established and important. However, veterans groups, local organizations, conservation groups are also part of the working class that is being attacked on all fronts. Absolutely. And we all are in all of that. And so we want we've got to all stand together, because all of us are in all that. We're veterans, we're in conservation groups and all of that. So we need to all stand together. Is your Discord server video or audio or just audio? My Discord server is both video and audio. So come over there and check us out. What else? If you guys have a subject you want me to cover, please send it to me, blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com, or in the comments of the show. I normally try to go through comments, so you can leave it there. I'll try to make a video for you if you have a question or something you want me to answer, or you have some sort of idea of a show you'd like to be seen done. Also, if you know people that want to be on the show that are not like weird, we would love to have you on the show to talk about things that are important to you out there. This is all of our community. So if you want to be on the show, man, let us know, bro. And we'd love to have you on the show. So thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. So we are out of here, I think. Chaplains, non-MM chaplains, non-motorcycle ministry chaplains. JD, I have a new book coming out called The Chaplain's Bible. And it's a how-to guide on how to be a chaplain for a motorcycle club. So it's going to be very interesting that we actually talk about that with some biker club chaplains as that book comes closer to coming out within about the next. You guys know how I am about books, but about the next month or two. All right. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. These are my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your 2 cents in the comments section below, or in this case, It might be on one of the sides. Thank you for all the kind donations tonight. Appreciate that. You can also donate to us on Cash App, which is $Biker Prez, Prez. And we do appreciate that as well. So I'll be doing my news show again. That's coming back. Yes. Yes. Just not quite exactly the way it was, because it kind of got boring for me. So I'll be doing some news again. I really want to get back to that, but it's going to be just a little bit different way. But anyway, look forward to that. All right. I think that's it. Stand by for this commercial, and we're out. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, don't forget Biker Combat. Black Dragon Biker Combat. We got some cool stuff coming. We got an incredible master out of Canada that's helping us, sending videos left and right. Man, I can't wait. Also, I'm getting my certification in cane fighting, so I'll be able to teach you old bastards how to use the cane. I know how to do this. I am an 8th degree black belt, but certifications are cool because they help you focus on things you might not have been thinking about, as this is not what I have typically done. So I can teach a whole bunch of good fighting techniques, but I'm learning an entire cane specific technique by cane fighters. And so when I get done with that, I will be teaching you all the cane. So when they see an old bastard and they want to get us, thanks for tuning in and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.